Winnipeg. There you go, Ben. I knew you'd be there. Anyways.
Connor Bedard, I mean, it just seemed like it was only a matter of time, and just to see him hit that hat trick tonight.
Yeah, and for me, like, I think Connor's had a great start to the year. You know, he's done so many things the right way. He's defending hard. He's stopping on pucks. He's doing a lot of things that create, you know, that are winning hockey habits. I think he's had a lot of, he's created a lot of offense that hasn't always, you know, ended up in goals necessarily, whether it's him or, you know, making a pass. It just hasn't, for whatever reason, but there's been certainly those opportunities where he's, you know, for nights like this, and so for him to get rewarded for that, I think is great.
Well, and how critical is that third goal? Because you guys were coming off that second period, they were within one, and that kind of gave the confidence, or kind of got you guys back.
It's a huge goal, you know, and you know, they were obviously pushing, and we needed to kind of have an answer, and those are big answers. You know, when you can score like that, that's a big answer. So. Again, I thought it was. I think it's just kind of been a culmination of I think a really good start for Connor. To be honest with
you, your success rate probably hasn't been as high as you wanted this year.
What am I 0-2?
Yeah. What kind of, I obviously you took a time out and looked at it closely. You guys got it for it.
Yeah, I would challenge what was the other one against Vancouver? I'd do that all day, every day. Still, again, you tell me, I'll challenge it all day. This one I probably wouldn't. You know, like we probably ultimately, when I looked at it, probably when I rewound it a little bit longer, you know, you're kind of whatever, you're looking through different stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on, and the puck travels. Those are the hardest ones, the possession and control. But when I looked at it in between periods, I don't think I would have challenged that. That's on me.
How big was that kill?
I will say this, sometimes, you know, when you challenge, if you can get the kill, you do kind of gain some momentum from it, you know. And there was definitely a feeling on our bench we should challenge it. And I'm not saying you should listen to, you know, the players because they're emotional at times, but there was definitely a feeling that we should challenge it. So good for us that we went out there, we killed it, we got a 2-0, didn't score on it, but we got a 2-0. And so sometimes it's a bigger thing than just whether you win or lose the challenge. Obviously, we get scored on there; it's a tough look. Or a tough result, not look. I don't care about looks, but I did think we get a little momentum after that. But yeah, you know, I told the linesman after in the third, they made the right call.
With Connor, he used to take a lot more chances, and it wasn't playing the way he's playing this year. Did you guys say something before the year started? I mean, I know it's your first year. He's playing, like you said, more winning hockey. Was that something that you guys tried to instill in him before the year started?
So the biggest thing I would say is where I've been super impressed with Connor is he wants to win more than anything else. And I've said this already this year. He wants to win more than he wants to score. He wants to win more than he wants to point. He wants to win. And I would say that true of the rest of the group in the locker room. To be honest with you, I think they all really want to win. They don't want to be scorers on bad teams. And Connor and every other guy in the team, we talked about the importance of winning hockey and winning hockey habits, and that's been a message going back to the summer, individual conversations we had throughout the summer, into not just with Connor, with all our guys, into training camp day one, into the first day of training camp was all about winning habits. That's what we're trying to instill here, and for me, that's going to help lead to long-term success. It's nice to see Connor have an offensive night like tonight to get rewarded for the good two-way play that he's had, because you know what I don't want is not get rewarded and all of a sudden you start cheating for your offense, because that'll equal not winning. And so he's done it the right way, and I'm good for him. It's been great.
Is there a common theme to these second periods?
Oh, that's a really good question. You know, we just talked about it. As a staff, we got to kind of do a deep dive and see why we struggle in the second. It seems like we get hemmed in more on our end in the second than we do in the first and third. And if I had the answer, we'd have it fixed. You know how that goes. For whatever reason, we don't seem to break the puck out as well out of D-zone coverage specifically, and then we just get hemmed in for way too long. So it's something we got to look at, something we got to make sure that we try to figure out and get an answer for.
How big is it to get 2 points tonight ahead of the road trip instead of the other way around?
Well, I think it's big in a couple ways. Like, you know, it's the third kind of time we've had a team coming in here in a back-to-back, and we played a really good first. And you don't want to keep squandering those opportunities to get those 2 points. And I'm not saying those are easy wins. That's not the case, you know. But when you do have a really good first period, you want to then make sure you kind of get it done. So I think that's a huge thing. I think going on the road, obviously, it'll be a tough trip in Western Canada. There's a lot of good hockey teams. It's harder to win on the road in this league, and so I think it's great to get those 2 points.
You mentioned the 2-0 on the first penalty kill with the challenge, but how nice is it to get the reward for Frank on that shorthanded goal in the third period when you've had seemingly a lot of chances to get shorties?
Yeah, no doubt, and I think shorthanded goals are something that are real important. I think it's a big part of penalty killing if you can score, because it ultimately, if you kind of get the reputation you can score, it puts the other team on their heels before the game starts. And we have had chances, we haven't done it. So it was great that he was able to kind of accelerate like he can accelerate and get that goal.
What did you say during the timeout?
Honestly, we were more just looking at the one thing I said was just to remind our guys we're up 4-3. Like, we were the team in the lead, and sometimes when another team's mounting a comeback, it feels like you're down, and we weren't. We were up 4-3, and no matter what happens on the challenge, we got to react positively and make sure we find a way to kill it and move on.
You obviously don't want to have penalties, but your penalty kill has been really good all season. Is there like a sense of comfort that you have when you go on that penalty kill with that?
No. but I will say this, like, I thought early in the year it wasn't great, but we kind of got away with some. I think it's been much better. Like, I thought tonight it was actually pretty good. So, we did a little bit better job of not taking penalties tonight. We need to continue to do a better job not taking penalties. But certainly, with the kill, I think our guys are gaining confidence in it, so that's a positive factor for sure. And just continue to gain confidence matters a ton, and whether it's special teams or individual players, and so good for our kill.
Can you comment on Colton Dock's play tonight?
Well, I think Docker has done a good job, really, the last 2 games. I think he's, I thought the last game, his first period, was really good. Like, I thought he did a lot of things that power forwards do. Tonight he's at the net. I thought he's been physical. I think he's like in the top 5 in hits in the league. All those things that are important that don't always show up in the score sheet. I know for him, it's probably the score, it helps him kind of that confidence in it, and it's an important factor. But I think Colton's done a good job. I've been a fan of kind of his approach and what he is, and he is different than a lot of our players. He's a big, strong power forward.
What does it say both about Tyler Bertuzzi as an individual, but also kind of the camaraderie that you have in the room, that when things got chippy there in the third period, coming back from dealing with something that kept him out of action, that he would be one of the guys that jumps in as aggressively as he did there?
I've been around Tyler a long time. Tyler's a foxhole guy, man. I'll take him all day, every day on any team I ever coach. He's a foxhole guy, and you want him in your foxhole, and he'll stick up for himself, stick up for his teammates. He kind of embodies what we want to be as a group, So it was honestly really good to have him back. It was good to have him in, and he's a big piece of what we want to be here, and I've been really, really impressed with him and his start and what he's done and his approach. Again, I've known him a long time. He's been dialed in this year for sure.
The upcoming road trip is longer than usual. Is there anything special you do to prepare for a trip like that?
Debate 2 suits versus 3. I'm gonna probably go 2. There's nothing. Ultimately, we're not gonna practice tomorrow. So we'll meet at the plane. Hopefully, you just got to kind of go through it. I mean, it is what it is. Like, it's just part of it. I don't mind long road trips, to be honest with you. I think the ones that are harder when you're constantly bouncing back and forth, So going on the road for a while you kind of get in the mode of it, and everybody. So there'll be zero excuse for us on the road. We got to go find a way to have success.
Is Mikheyev traveling with you?
Yeah, he's traveling. I would say, definitely still day to day. Hope he's available on Thursday.
Spencer Knight done anything that surprised you, or is this like not a ton of NHL experience, but he's like
First off, I think Spencer has benefited from spending time in Florida and spending time with Bobrovsky, spending time with that team. I think it really helped him, kind of shape what's important in just his approach, and he's added really good insight to me of what that winning hockey that they've done there looks like. I think I always knew he was really athletic. Going back to his days at the national team development program where I watched him play a good amount. But he's also very calm in the net. That's probably, if you ask me what surprised me, it's that he's done a really good job of being calm, but then using his athleticism to make big saves at big moments.
To have that moment and just what was the feeling when that third one went in?
Yeah, it's nice. I think just how our whole team celebrates each other in moments like that. And then, kind of the fans' reaction was awesome. We have so much support. And, obviously you want to get ahead anywhere, but to get one at home is nice, and to kind of have that support is unbelievable.
I know you've always had confidence, but how much just the way this whole group is playing this year, does that even give you more out there in your game?
Yeah, I think, no matter what, you're going to go into every game like you can win, but, we really have such a belief in here in our group. And, I think coming into the year, if you ask people that, weren't a part of our team, their expectations, it might have been low, but we never thought like that. And obviously it's only 10 games in, we have a ton of work to do, but we just believe in one another, and it's such a tight-knit group that we're going to play for each other. So it's been fun, but in the end it's one game. We got to keep building and keep trying to stack wins.
Jeff Blashill said a few days ago he just felt you were close to being a little bit more precise on those goals. It seemed like you kind of hitting the spots you wanted to tonight.
Yeah, I think that's kind of how it goes, and sometimes you can like Anaheim. I don't know how many shots I had, probably 10 or something, and then goes in. And today it's almost every one. So that's how hockey is. Sometimes it's going in, sometimes it's not. So I think for me, just kind of trying to stick with it, keep shooting, and not get too high, not get too low, and that's our whole group. So it's nice to see them going in for sure, but you're gonna have ups and downs.
After last game with difficulties with the power play, your goal being a power play, how important was that?
I thought it was huge, especially time of the game. We talked about them coming off a back-to-back last game, and if we get one of those power plays, and maybe they don't quit, but they feel a little more, and I think that was the importance of that 3-0 goal, and just for our power play, get a little confidence to get one, and but yeah, that's big. We're gonna need our power to win games, and it's just nice to get one there.
How different is it to be on the right side of the power play like that than you were on the left side earlier in the season?
Yeah, I just think it gives you a different kind of vision of the ice. You're going downhill at guys, and I think I like both sides, but in some ways I think there's benefits to it, and obviously we're trying. We only got the one, and hit one shot, and it was in. So obviously it looks good, but I'm excited to get some more powers and kind of work on that side and see how it goes.
How do you look at this long road trip?
I'm excited. I think for us it's going to be fun. I think just time to bond. And, I think when you're game 4, 5, 6 of the road trip, and you're kind of grinding, and that's when you really become a good team and become closer, and you're really playing for each other. When maybe you're a little tired, and the guys with kids and stuff might want to go see them. I mean, it doesn't matter for me, so I'm chilling. But stuff like that. So I think it brings you together, and we're looking forward to it. And it's big for us. It's 6 games. That's a lot of games. So we obviously have to have a good trip.
So we were talking about with Nick about how this is a game that you guys kind of lost last year when it got to Florida.
Yeah.
What is the difference this year? Do you guys not feel the gloom and doom like we're still going to win this game?
Yeah, I think we give up 3 goals there quick in the second, and we didn't have our best period, obviously, and I think just coming in the room and you fully reset. I think you got to go in every period like it's 0-0, and I really think we did a good job of not playing not to lose. We were playing to win and attack and try to score more goals, and we were able to do that. So it's a really good experience for us. Myself, all the young guys to have something like that, a little adversity, and then be able to pull away.
Any initial thoughts on playing Connor, Jonathan Taves?
That guy.
Yeah, I think for him it's going to be a cool game. Obviously, someone that means so much to the city, the fans, the organization, everyone kind of here. So for him to get to play us again, and for all of us, it's a guy we grew up watching, and kind of someone I think the whole world is rooting for, hearing his story of the last couple of years and coming back and playing for his hometown. So it's going to be fun to get to play against a guy like that. And I know obviously it's not at home, but I think a lot of Hawks fans will be kind of watching that, and it'll be cool for them.
I'm curious, this is a little further down the line, but do you think of the Olympics right now? Do you think of the possibilities of being on that team, or is that something you put in the future? Or I'm just curious how much that's on your mind.
Yeah,
especially when you have a hat trick.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I don't think you can get too high. You know, of course, if that's something that I get to do, that would be unbelievable, and you know, I would do anything to be on that team. But you know, I think just trying to kind of take things day by day, and you know, have fun playing in the NHL, and trying to grow as a team and win hockey games, and you know, do everything I can to play my best hockey. And you know, in the end, that'll be what, you know, puts me in a spot to make it. But it's Canada. There's so many amazing players. You never know. So you know, I just gotta kind of keep doing what I'm doing, and now I'm focused on the Hawks, and that stuff kind of comes later down the line.
Is this the most fun you've had in your 3 years here?
Getting
there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think, you know, personally, coming into the year, maybe, you know, a little better mindset, and just knowing, you know, the league and stuff, and you know, maybe being a little more relaxed. And you know, it's easy to say that after a hat trick and a win, but you know, I think just our group is super motivated, and you know, loves each other, and it's been a lot of fun so far. So we just want to keep building that, and keep, you know, having a good product on the ice.
He looks for opportunities and everything, and we've seen what he's been able to do, but to get that breakthrough tonight with that hat trick.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that, you know, more important than anything, I think it was just huge for our team. He kind of picked us up in moments, you know, especially that fourth goal kind of gave us some confidence in a second period that kind of was a little ugly, and then he gets that next one to get the hat trick and just kind of puts the game away. So, you know, he is elite. He is understanding and becoming that player, and but all the while also doing things on the other side of the puck too. So I was thrilled for him. I mean, everyone remembers, well, some guys are lucky enough to get their first hat tricks, but when you do, it's an awesome feeling. And yeah, so it kind of brought me back, and I was pumped for him. I think, you know, he's a guy that likes to score, loves to score goals. So you could see it on his face how pumped he was. And I mean, we get that kind of Connor Bedard every night. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, but he was trending in that direction lately.
Big time. I mean, you can see it. That's why, you know, the thing about Connor is I didn't even realize how underrated of a player. I've not talked about a playmaker he was, to be honest with you. I thought he was just a pure goal scorer, and when I got here, I couldn't believe the plays that he made. So, you know, he's had to be kind of that guy for us a little bit, and you know, hasn't had the setups that probably he deserves. But you know, he's getting a great pass from Berkey today, off the draw, and then does his own thing. You know, that's who he is. So when he plays that dynamic, I mean, he's a threat every time he's on the ice. You can just see his confidence growing more and more in the game, and that's exciting for us.
How important was the kill after you guys lose the challenge?
Yeah, I mean, more importantly, we just can't put ourselves in that situation of getting scored on 3 times, and so that's something we're going to have to continue to work on. But I love that we caught ourselves and found a way to win that game. I think I talked about it in the room. Like, that's a sign of a team that's becoming a good team, that's starting to understand how to win. But we don't want to put ourselves in that position. So, you know, that kill is huge. I give our killers credit. And, I mean, we probably could have scored on that 2-on-0. Would have been nice, but you know, that was a huge kill and a big momentum boost back our way.
I thought you guys kind of lost last year or the year before. What is the difference now?
Well, I just think it's there's a mindset in here of wanting to be part of something special, you know, and I really genuinely believe that and feel that in the room. And I know it sounds a little cheesy, but it's true. Like, I think every guy here wants to be part of bringing this team back to where it was and what it can be. So I think every guy is excited about the opportunity now to become that team. So this was a chance for us to do that, right? It was as opposed to, you know, everyone's trying to win the game, but when you really believe in what the direction is, and then the fiber of your group and the culture starts to build, then that's the result you get. And I'm really thrilled that the guys stepped up to do that today.
Every win's important, but how important was it to get the win today before you guys are on the road for a
Yeah, it's nice, especially in front of our fans. And I think it's so important that we make this a hard place to play. Especially, we let one slip away against a team that was coming in off a back-to-back, and then tonight that was an area that we wanted to emphasize of making sure that any team that's at a disadvantage, so to speak, is going to feel that. And you know, much like we'll probably have to be up against it some nights and going into other teams' barns. So to get a big win at home is huge, and I think the guys really feel good going into Winnipeg that our game is, you know, growing and we're finding different ways to win.
That second goal of Bedard is probably going to be on a highlight reel.
For a while, yeah, that was beautiful. I mean, that's just what you kind of saw and dreamed about as a guy that, you know, that's what he does. I mean, it's just
he can zip through in the middle, and then all of a sudden it's off his stick and it's in the net, and the goalies don't have a chance. So we want to see more of that, but more important than that, it's fun to watch Connor grow as an all-around player, and that excites me for this group.
How do you look at this
Last one for Nick.
I'm excited to get her out with the guys. I mean, I'm pissed I'm missing trick or treating with my kids. I'm not gonna lie. I gotta talk to the NHL about letting me just trick. It's my birthday too, so it pisses me off every year that I miss trick or treating, especially the ages my kids are at. But I'm excited to get on the road with this group and build that team kind of chemistry and camaraderie, and it's a lot of fun for us, and especially the group that we have where we're growing together. It'll be fun to get out there and play some great teams and great buildings, and these are the fun road trips for sure.
What's your favorite candy?
Probably a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. Yeah, that's my go-to. I usually grade my kids' bags.
It was also a nice team win. Just a great day overall.
With Connor, I mean, we've seen what he's been able to do in the 3 years that he's been here and everything, but just him taking it to another level tonight and getting that hat trick.
He's fun to watch. He's an amazing human being also, so we're all proud of him, and that's it. He keeps developing and getting better. It's great to see.
Were you upset that he sort of went up your night?
It was fuming. It's good. It's no, I mean it was. I went on the ice after his hat trick, and there was still like some hats going in. It was a cool experience.
You almost have to be careful and not just watch him.
I mean, during the game, it's a little bit different from the stand. Like you keep trying to focus on your game and what you can bring next shift. But no, I mean, after his third goal, I mean, all eyes were on him. Yeah.
What does it mean when things started to get chippy in the second, third period? You have a guy like Tyler Bertuzzi jump into the mix there.
Yeah, I mean, that was huge for us. He was coming back today, and he did pretty good there too. So yeah, it was really good to see him, get his revenge a little bit, and having a good game too.
You guys, that second period could have been very detrimental. Could have really hurt you guys. You come back and everything, and how much does that kind of show the growth of this team and being able to kind of weather the issues and getting past it?
Yeah, it was it's a situation we've been part of a couple of times where we came back and experienced, like we stayed calm, and I think we had our best period in the third. So it was I think we can be proud of our game, even though the second wasn't it.
You mentioned before that the game can slow down when you're shooting. Did that happen on either of those shots in the first period for you?
Sorry,
you mentioned before they can kind of go slow-mo for you in your head when you shoot. Did that happen on either of the shots in the first period?
Yeah, well, I didn't. Yeah, on the goal, I didn't. I think it was just like, to be fair, I didn't see it again. So it was. I saw Bird going to his usual spot, like back door. So I was trying to chuck a puck there, and sometimes good bounce and gets in.
Can a home win like this help prepare you for a 6-game road trip?
Yeah, it's after a loss, also getting back in the win column, it's good for us. It's getting confidence, and it's it's a big road trip coming up, 6 games. So but it should be fun. Yeah, it's that's why we're here.